So here we are on a Monday morning, 10:40. Beautiful day. We've been at Tobermory for 4 nights. The weather was a bit gusty, and we've got the Sound of Mull to go down, which can be quite a funnel. So we were not keen to go out until we were reasonably happy that the wind wasn't too strong for those gusts to come through. We're on our way to Oban. It's about 25 miles away. We've got a lovely day, some dark clouds, so we might get some rain, but we'll put up with that as long as we get a nice bit of wind. So here's goodbye to Tobermory until next time. Welcome to Waikare, sailing around Britain 2023. We're on the Sound of Mull, sailing south eastwards towards Oban from Tobermory. It's a glorious day. We have the sails reefed. There's quite a gust coming off the hills, and it's just beautiful out here. Sean and I are having a cracking sail. With some nice gusts that hit us just like every sort of 2 or 3 minutes, and we go from 4 knots to 5 and 6 knots, and the boat leans a bit, but we've got the mainsail reefed because there might be some heavy gusts coming from the hills ahead of us, which will really push the boat over, so we're just protecting ourselves a little bit from that. And the Genoa, the sail at the front, is reefed in about a quarter, so that we're not overpowered too much at the front of the boat as well. So boat's leading along nicely. We're sailing along, averaging about 5 knots in our direction. The sun's shining. There's a few dark clouds about, but so far we haven't seen anything. But as I pan round behind Sean, you may be able to see on the water some white horses that are appearing. So we should get some gusts in a minute that'll hit us, and she'll show why she's reefed up nicely. There we are. Oh, there they are. There come the gusts. And they come and go. We've been told that they might get stronger as the day progresses, so we are protecting ourselves a little bit. Sean's doing a cracking job on the helm there. He's got the mainsail in his hand, so if he gets a really strong gust he can release that and just spill some of the wind. So we crack on as we do, but it's beautiful sailing. We can see why so many people come up to Scotland or leave their boats up here, because it's absolutely stunning machinery. We're blessed at the moment with really good weather, sunshine, and a lovely sail ahead of us. We've seen a few yachts coming up with full sail up, and as they're coming along we should see them do this. Whoa!
First rescue service ever.
So there's a moment.
Man overboard, it's chart overboard.
We were coming down the Mull and Sound of Mull, and we heeled over nicely in a gust, but unfortunately the charts that were sitting on top of the garage hatch decided to go down to the windward side, the leeward side rather, and slide off the boat. So yeah, we've had a bit of a moment there, but we got the sails down, sort of, engine on, and we're now back on it. And Sean very bravely jumped in the tender. Well done, Sean. Woo-hoo. Good man.
Thank you.
Welcome to the interior of Waikare, Saturday 29. We're currently sailing down on the Sound of Mull from Tobermory to Oban. We had some excitement. Normally when I say the next line, it's not really excitement people talk about, but we had a man overboard of sorts. We had the sails up. It's quite gusty today, so we go from sitting quite comfortably to being pushed over quite strongly. We've got reefs in the sails, so that's all good. But the one thing we didn't allow for in our experience and knowledge was that our charts that were in a plastic cover decided that on a particular gust that they didn't want to be on the boat anymore, so they flew into the sea. So Sean was very brave. He we got the sails down and the engine on, and we turned round and watched the pack of charts floating away. There was a big, huge, great tanker coming along at the same time, which is how it should be. We called our man overboard and we went round and collected everything up and brought it on board. The survivors included our passage plans, not just for today's trip, but also previous notes that we've done. So we are reviving them. We've brought them into the warmth of the cabin, and they're now going through a thorough drying stage to make sure that they are fit for remembrance as we go around various places or look back in the future. So there's lots of the different passage plans that we've been using over the last few weeks, and I suppose in a way you've also got a bit of a look for the interior. But I'd like to just go back to the hero of the moment, and that's Sean up there, who immediately just jumped straight into the tender as we turn round and positioned himself ready to retrieve our very special man overboard bits and pieces. The one other thing that went over was our charts there, so we're sort of using them and sort of hoping they'll dry out. But a bit of excitement for the day. We can turn around and say yes, we did do our man overboard test, and apart from the fact that it was quite lightweight to bring on board, well done Mr. Sean. So here's Waikare cracking along, Sound of Mull again. It's nice to see lots of other boats out enjoying a Monday afternoon, the sunshine. Some are reefed down. There's a large yacht there with full sail on, which is powering away like a good one. It's all rather wonderful. So we've passed through the Sound of Mull, and on our port side we have Ladies Rock off Lismore Island. There's a lighthouse there as well, and we heard a growl coming from behind, and we thought, what sort of thing would do that? And unfortunately we have to share our very eco-friendly sailing with other vessels, including the McBray Calmac, which is on its way to Oban, probably from one of the islands. They come in every hour, so we need to keep an eye on them, especially near the ports. that overtaking vessel keeps clear. We're not in a restricted channel here, so the helm there would know we're going along at a certain 130 degrees at 4 knots, and has very kindly gone round us, and we'll wait to see his wash come and give us a bit of a bouncy. A bit of an update on the MOB, the maps overboard. We've dried them down. Looks like they're going to be okay. We've got our main chart that we were using as part of our journey today. That's sort of dried out quite nicely. And just to give you an idea where we are, we're sort of about here, and we're going through the rocks and over to Oban, which is about here. And down below you can see all the other charts that were in that pack that went overboard, drying out nicely. We'll write an incident report later, but we're pleased to say that all victims are responding well to warmth and sunshine, and we expect them to be back on full duty very shortly. So back to our sailing and the quietness that we love. Rock there, and this little lighthouse on the north side, and straight ahead is in the distance Oban, cracking along at excuse me, 5.5, 6 knots. Breeze has now picked up again as we come into the main channel, and we're back up to 6 knots. The overfalls are very light. We're at neaps, which means that the tides aren't as strong as they are at springs, so we haven't got too much to concern ourselves with. But she's sailing, car is sailing very nicely indeed. But ahead of me I can see some white horses, which probably are the overfalls, so we might be in for a little bit of a rough ride a bit further on. But so far, fantastic.